So a lot of Americans and stuff like that didn't understand the sports in that were happening, and they kept making uh the shitty like upside down Australia jokes, blah blah blah, and they kept post tagging AFL. The mods there kept tagging AFL as rugby, so all the AFL fans had a joke and like fucking go at them because just for the fun of it. They didn't actually care; they just wanted to have fun. And the RSS Sports mod got pissed off and banned all AFL and NRL.
The guitar circle jerk subreddit, so much better than just the regular guitar subreddit.
I gotta search that up. Guitars Circle Jerk ones are incredible.
Oh my god, you're not none of the jokes are gonna make sense.
It's a circle jerk. Oh, so my CD for NoFX's The War on Errorism came the other day, and I will stand by it that it's the best NoFX album.
I haven't really listened to much of NoFX.
I never really listened to NoFX.
They were surprisingly pretty successful down here as well.
They're like industrial, right?
The what?
Industrial?
No, they're punk.
Oh. So they're like more like Less Than Jake and Goldfinger and stuff. No, that's ska.
They're not really. They're not ska. No, like
they're more like Henry Rollins band stuff.
Yeah, it's closer to that. I think in between, but like no ska.
Okay. Anyway, we've been recording for 5 minutes.
Oh wait, really? Have we?
Yes.
Oh god, I don't know what comments I've made that are made on.
Oh, found it. It's not safe for work. I'm just gonna warn you, it's not safe for work.
Yeah, that's fine. Just post it and we'll describe it and get demonetized.
Are you over 18? No, that's great when you see that. Yes.
Okay, where did we start recording? Because did we start recording when I went on about Epic Game Store?
I don't remember. You didn't say anything bad.
Well.
You didn't say anything bad.
No, I haven't said anything. I know I haven't said anything bad, but people are gonna join a music podcast and think, why the fuck am I talking about Epic Game Store?
I'll cut it down. I'll cut it down. I'll fade in with a specific thing.
I'm more likely to get cancelled for talking about how Epic Game Store isn't that bad. Anything else I can say?
Yeah,
gamers.
Aren't you proud to be a gamer? Gamer pride.
So the post that Trix has just shared is how a gentleman treats his lady, and it's this person just sexually caressing a guitar.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play that because the audio would bleed into the podcast.
If we're gonna talk about sexualizing guitars, we should mention that review for Slift.
Oh yeah, Slift. That's Slift review. Let me find it. Hold on.
I sent it to my mom. Hold up.
I'm pretty sure that was like a user review for some kind of site, but it was still great.
Anyway, welcome to Dissonant Waves podcast. I'm
Yes, from Sputnik. Sputnik Music.
We talked about gamers, NoFX, and guitar circle jerks in the first 5 minutes.
Gene Fawcett is a true master of the SG art. Oh yes, the ship captain knows how to make that guitar talk, scream, whisper, and moan like a panther in heat. Brother Remy Fawcett glues the bass both ways with steady resolve, while Canic Floors runs the engine with a remarkable performance on the drum kit. The rhythm section is as tight as my ass cheeks as I write this poor stream of consciousness manner, which will probably cost me my contributor tag, divorce, a few neighbor death threats on my door tomorrow. But hang in there, we got all night, because it's going to be a long one, and this thing clocks at 1 hour plus, and all I have left to drink at home is the water from the plants.
Those pictures of David Gilmour fit perfectly with that quote. Welcome to Dissonant Waves, everybody. We do have 3 albums to talk about this week. This is a week where I'm glad I took notes. Got Slift, their album Uman, whatever you want to call it. BTS, Map with a Soul 7, The Journey. their Japanese version of Map of the Soul 7 plus other songs. Not really Map of the Soul 7 at all, to be honest. And then Brain Candy by Hockey Dad. Yeah.
Pick that one. Yay.
I,
I was gonna say good taste, but no, I just like Hockey Dad a lot. That wouldn't really matter about my taste now. I just like Hockey Dad a lot, and you know what? We're gonna talk about it first because I'm just gonna say this is their best album.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it better than Blend In. Baroni I haven't listened to.
Baronia I still have no intentions of doing because I think it is just way too inconsistent.
Fair enough.
Whilst their debut EP is one of my favorite EPs of the last decade, but like, I still put the albums above it.
I mean, it's like I love the concert that you showed me. Like,
yeah,
that live stream concert was great.
Unfortunately, Trix, despite also being more into Hockey Dad than Dominic is, didn't actually get to watch it, but they did a live stream concert, which is kind of like this whole zombie film thing as well. It's kind of weird, but you know, after a while, you kind of just stop crashing it and you just enjoy it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And they performed the whole album back to start to
back,
finish,
yeah.
and then it ended with a Pavement cover. It was really fun.
And the guy's voice is beautiful live. Like, I love it.
Yeah, as Dominic was saying throughout the week over on our chats, is that he ended up liking this concert more than the album for a bit, and thought that, and it was one thing that really always kind of like stopped me from enjoying the concert in full more than the album, and that's just the performance of Itch. Just Itch is my favorite song with this album. I don't really care about spoilers here, but it's also a very hard song to kind of do live because it is out of his vocal range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that really showed during the concert.
I kind of forgot about it. They brought it up, but yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, you listen to him sing songs like Milk in the Sun or
In the state.
Germaphobe or In the State, even, which has a lot of those loud kind of vocal moments. He still sung those really well.
Yeah, probably just got tired.
Germaphobe is kind of topical.
Yeah, yeah.
Something that was recorded over a year ago. It's topical, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember back when I originally saw the announcement of the recording stuff. I think they announced it very late 2018 that they were writing and recording, and I just remember it being hyped for that because Blend In was one of my favorites of 2018. I'm still gonna have to really as we're getting into the later stages of the year, come December, I'm gonna actually be ranking all the albums and stuff in 2020 again, like I did last year. It's gonna be really starting to think, where do I put this, like, in my top albums of the year? And there's a strong chance that I have this in my top 10. It's fantastic start from finish. I think the only song on here which hasn't grown on me as much as everything else in here is probably Reno, but there's still some.
One of my favorites of the album.
Yeah, but it still has some moments in it that I like. Like I like the line of "Let me be your emergency contact information."
Yes, that was great.
I do have one question for you, Riddlin.
Yeah.
How does this relate to Zoo?
Ooh, I wasn't gonna go there, but I'm curious.
Like, what do you mean? Do you think do you want to know if I think this is better than Zoo? Do you think want to know?
Would you put it higher or lower?
Oh, higher.
How much higher?
I mean, Zoo has really surprised me with how much it's been on my on my playlist and stuff for the whole year. Like, some of the songs in there have become some of my most played songs of the year. But my opinions of the album haven't changed from the start. I enjoy it a lot, but a lot of its influences and stuff that I said, where some of it kind of felt like it was wearing too much of its instruments on the sleeve. There was some kind of moments towards the end that weren't so as memorable compared to the probably like brilliant start that the album had.
Yeah.
The album hasn't more or less grown or weakened on me. It's kind of stayed the same. So like I've still listened to it and I'll still be listening to it. And there's a good chance I put it in my top 20, but
Not the top 10 still.
I don't know if it's gonna make. Hockey Dad's more likely to get into my top 10 at the end of the year than Weekend Run Club is.
That's fair.
All right.
Granted, you can use the bias tag because I am a huge Hockey Dad fan.
I thought you were biased with Weekend Run Club because you know someone who knows the singer.
Yeah, man. That's inside jokes.
Cardinal Heart.
Inside jokes, lads. Inside jokes.
Inside jokes.
But I do like as well that there's a lot more experimentation with their sound on this record as well. Like as Trix kind of pointed out that there's a couple songs in here which nearly go into country.
Yeah, fucking, what was it? Song before
Keg.
Keg is just country with just the double bends, the real twangy tone that he gets from his jazz band.
So here's the thing. Here's the weird thing about this album for me. I had to really pay attention to understand that they were going for different genres. Like, I understood it, but it didn't really quite hit me as much. Like, it all seems very much within their sound.
That, I'm gonna really explain that, actually.
Like, let me just say this. Like, if I were to just listen to it straight through, I would not even, like, really realize that Itch was, like, a Radiohead song. But listening to it, I'm like, oh yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
But not, like, engaging in that level. It's like, it's just a Hockey Dad song.
That's because, that has more of a favor of the genre than, and not knocking their musicianship, but surf music is just so versatile. It draws from everywhere, and everything draws from surf music. That like country music and surf music are very, very similar in that regard, and so are, and like if you listen to and like even like Spanish, like when I do the Bomboras, they have a song called Playa de los Muertos, and it's like just the Spanish like mariachi song, but through a surf filter, and it just fucking works.
Okay. Like mariachi, like BTS does?
I did not recognize any mariachi on.
I swear the album had a mariachi kind of song. It was... Oh, was it, yeah, Airplane Part 2.
I must not have been paying that close attention then, or I just completely forgot.
It was more of like a samba, honestly, but they talk about mariachi in the lyrics.
Gotcha.
Talks about mariachi equals mariachi song.
Got really fuzzy there.
Did I really?
Oh yeah, you
Am I
really...
You're fuzzy.
It's like you're eating a couch.
Hold on, give me a second.
Hold on, give me.
Hold on, give me a second. But, you know...
Sound better?
Say again?
Does this sound better?
No.
Hold on.
But as someone who didn't really care about Blend In, I'm not gonna say that like Brain Candy is gonna be in my top 10, like of everything we listened to this year, maybe of like the 2020 album specifically, but I at least have more of an appreciation for Hockey Dad now than like any time listening to Violent Soho, really.
Yeah.
Like Covered in Chrome is great, I think, but other than that, I think Hockey Dad is better by far.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking of Hockey Dad when I was re-listening to Hot Flash Heat Wave.
Yeah. They, again, same kind of genre. They're two on the surf punk subreddit. They're two of like the top bands on there.
Really?
Yeah, especially now that most of them have been dethroned because of pedophilia.
Oh yeah.
But it's like some of the top bands there are like Tijuana Panthers, Beach Goons, which I'm gonna cover eventually. Hot Flash Heatwave. Hockey Dad is way up there.
Do they have another album out, or is it just the one album?
Beach Goons or Hot Flash Heatwave.
Hot Flash Wave.
They have a couple albums out. They have 3, I want to.
Should do another at
So
some
it
point.
helps. It
Yeah, they're
really
not
helps
really-
that Hockey Dad is quite popular in Australia.
Yeah, they're not really that surfy. They're more like kind of like Mac DeMarco.
Well, you listen to their early stuff like Veronia and Dreaming, and the surf rock influence is definitely there.
Yeah, I was talking about Hot Flash Heat.
Yeah.
You're still really
They're
scratchy,
albums,
by the way. I
Really?
don't know.
I don't think I can fix that. How bad is it?
It's real bad. Like it sounds like you're talking through like a shitty 5-cent microphone.
I think it's got shit to do with my ping as well, because I've unplugged and replugged in my headset a lot here.
Try reconnecting.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna.
Technical difficulties. Australia.
Australia.
We haven't really had it happen too much here and there, but
No, thankfully.
Yeah, I have a bad ping.
all right. Well, sorry, buddy. We have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I wish I could know how bad it sounded, but that's just like I'm sorry about that.
Riddlin, come in. This is Dominic. Do you read?
Actually, one thing I would say. So I'll get back into Hockey Dad in a bit, but I'm gonna just try with different headsets, and make sure it's not this.
All right. Anyway, what other sports parental names should we cover?
The only other one I can think of is Soccer Mom.
Soccer mommy. Yeah, that's about it. We already did adult mom.
Yeah. We did Beach Bunny.
We did petite league.
We're gonna be doing them again this year.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Which new single Friday? Woo!
Joy Rider.
Yeah.
I like how he had it. Lorenzo had a poll on Instagram. Do you want to see the lyrics or the art first? Everyone wanted to see the art.
Yeah, I would want to see the art too.
I feel bad.
Come
I'm sure
in,
the
come
lyrics have a lot of. Hello.
This is sounding better.
A lot better.
Yes, it sounds.
Okay, yeah. I think there's a problem with the headset then.
Like it just. I don't know. Anyway. When you're Hockey Dad, are you a goalie? Are you a forward? What are you?
I don't know hockey positions.
I know goalie.
I think if you're a hockey dad, you're not playing hockey. You're just kind of got a beer belly and are wearing the jersey.
So it really is the equivalent of a soccer mom.
Yeah. I know a hockey dad.
This just makes me think of these two growing up and having families and becoming their own hockey dads.
Yeah. Is hockey even big in Australia?
Yeah, actually, but not ice hockey.
Field hockey, yeah.
Yeah, field hockey is.
So
Now, why?
So the hockey
is-
reference is more to field hockey, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, you know what Hockey Dad's based on, right? Did I tell you?
Simpsons.
Yeah.
He had a little video game clip.
Yeah, that's literally all they were named after. Because we have a couple of Simpsons named bands. I think the other big one was Jebediah.
Fallout Boy.
I was talking about in Australia.
I know, but I was just talking in general.
Well,
Dr. Colossus as well. I think Dakemus is based in Adelaide.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He,
What's your-
he does the he's Dank Pods now. Does all the iPod mod.
Ooh.
What is your opinion on Hockey Dad becoming the dad, like Silverchair became the chair?
I mean, that's just a name, a nickname. There's no real opinions of that. You kind of just either say it or you don't.
An interview that I was reading. Remember which one? It's in this chat somewhere. But they were asking like, "Do you want to be called the dad?" Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much it. Like, they don't really care. Or do many people? It's just a thing that will happen sometimes.
It's on happymag.tv. Review that they did. The United Dad, Billy adds, pretty much setting the decision in stone. They are the United Dad. They are together one dad, one hockey father.
Now, I had to figure out why my sound is absolutely fucked on my computer at the moment. When it comes to well, I'm trying to play back some sounds into my in just into my headset, but instead it's going through my speakers, which is good. That's not helping me at all. So I'm currently having a lot of issues during recording, so this is fun
Yeah, that's
recording.
always the best time for it to happen.
Yeah, I know. I think those headsets I got were probably some a bit of a knockoff because they're really shit.
You were sounding fine for about the first 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, but they go staticky and shit, and I think they're bought off eBay or something, and they're gone. And I don't think they're legit.
Rip.
It happens more often than you think, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I think I bought a knockoff PS Etsy.
It's alright. It was only a birthday present.
Here's a question for you now. What is a Dole brother?
Do you know what on the dole means?
No.
Nope.
So I'll get the I'll get the best description of it as I can.
Is there an Australian to English dictionary?
Yeah.
Australian to American.
Yeah.
So here we go. Merriam-Webster. Definition of on the dole: receiving money that a government, especially the British government, gives to people who do not have jobs or who are very poor.
So
Employment.
like entitlements.
Yeah. So a dole brother would probably be referring to either a family member or a friend who's on Centrelink, which is our version of unemployment or stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Apparently, Tell Me What You Want was also a song written about his dog.
Yeah, I read that. That was fun. The beginning reminded me of like an 80s song almost. I will say that. That was a moment where I was like, oh, this does sound a little bit different.
I'll also like, because I bought the vinyl for this and I actually listened to it. Unsurprisingly, the cutoff for the first side is after Itch, and I do see Itch as that kind of halfway point as well.
Yeah.
Like before having even listened to the to it on vinyl, it always just kind of felt like this, and then that sudden change to Heavy Assault, which is one of my favorite songs off the record as well. I've been listening a lot, just like as individual songs to mainly Milk in the Sun and Itch, but I've had Heavy Assault on a bit as well.
Heavy Assault's a great. I accidentally learned how to play that one on.
Is that all?
Now, I've also just figured out that my headset that I'm on, like the other headset that I'm on, is fine, and that my music player was just being a piece of shit. Because everything has just suddenly fixed itself up after I restarted it. Ha!
That was when you got a good eye.
I think they said at the concert as well, like that live gig, that Good Eye was written about one of their mates.
You got a good eye.
And then obviously we have the lead single to all of this, I Missed Out, which I liked a lot on first. I still like the song a lot, but it I don't even know if it cracks my top 5 on this record.
It's a big mood though, I will say that.
I mean, getting your eyes peeled is always what you want to do in the morning.
I mean, it's again, it's one of those songs that I written a long time ago, and it more refers to touring than it does actual like Corona.
Yeah.
Right.
But still, it was a very good song on first listens, and I put it very highly in my top 100. I think I actually put it in like number 25 or something. I don't know if I'd still have it that high, but there's definitely a lot of other songs off this record which I think I enjoy more than it. I think Milk in the Sun, Good Eye, Itch, and Heavy Assault I probably put all ahead of it. Maybe not Heavy Assault. I still 50-50 on that. In the State was the single I reckon that I was probably the least impressed about.
Oh, really? That's one of the ones I like the most.
Isn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was just the most like. I reckon it's a fine opener, but it was also one of the most like same songs that Hockey Dad has put out.
Yeah, it's very Hockey Dad.
It's a good vocal showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was fine to be on the album. It works. It works as an opener, although I still think Good Eye probably could have been a better opener. Like
Yeah.
I don't think this is a perfect album by any means. So like,
I just think we
don't
like
get me
the
wrong about
opposite
that.
songs, honestly. Because I think Milk in the Sun was one of the weaker ones on the first half.
Really,
I thought it was a solid tune.
yeah, I like it a lot. It's very catchy.
I think it was.
I like. Don't leave your milk in the sun, and then you have those
Sun.
backing vocals that go in the sun, 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 and that also not that croaky, but it's definitely one of the ones that stood out to me on first listen and kind of still has.
It seemed like another summery song, which was great, but just kind of just everything they do.
Well, I mean, it's more about I believe the actual song is about an argument that's happening, like in public and stuff. And when I say "don't leave your milk in the sun," because you know what happens when you leave your milk in the sun.
Yeah, it spoils.
Yeah.
I got the metaphor. Yeah, I got them at a 5, even.
It's like such a gross
Yes.
fucking visual.
Yes. It's repugnant.
Like, I'm just thinking of that spoiled milk explosion TikTok.
I've not seen that.
I'll find it later and post it. But somebody puts a shit ton of rubber bands around a spoiled gallon of milk and into his face.
God.
It just makes the fucking most hilarious.
Alright, so as I was saying before with that No Effects album, just because it's playing, you know what? Anarchy Camp is a ska song, so maybe I was wrong. Because that song was just playing right now, and there's fucking trumpets.
It could just be that genres don't matter, bands do what they want. If they like a song, they'll put it on
Maybe
an
old
album.
punk is just ska.
I mean, the nature of human, the true thing of human nature is to rediscover ska every now, and that's just by adding horns to punk.
That's how you get Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I got much more to say about this album.
King of the Scarlet Flowers.
I haven't really talked about the closer. Looking forward to the change. Well, looking forward to change is what it says on here, but the actual song's looking forward to the change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Bandcamp fucked up its titles.
It's interesting to end the album on a nostalgic song and then like a depression song.
Yeah, it's looking forward to the change, but when I downloaded this off Bandcamp, it had fucking what did it have? It had Heavy Assault spelled incorrectly, which it still is on my version here. I don't know, I haven't changed it because it's has it as UA instead of AU.
Heavy assault.
Yeah, and it says looking forward to change, not looking forward to the change. But also, so something I've noticed, and you'll really only notice it on when Hockey Dad albums release, is that their titles are misspelled a couple times, or it's just so. I don't know how many people are going to remember this, but when Blend In was released, the song My Stride was on some streaming services, stuff like that, titled The Stride. And I'm going to get up my last FM for Hockey Dad because it will say that I have a Scrabble for The Stride.
I wonder who takes care of that. Do they do it themselves? Do they let someone else do it?
I wouldn't be surprised if their label does it.
So is there like a conflict of like we're calling it The Stride versus My Stride, or is just someone being that consistently ignorant?
Well, maybe the person who just types this doesn't know how to has like dyslexia. You don't know.
I mean, to me, it would make more sense if they were doing it themselves and screwing it up.
But here we go, because I never typed it in as The Stride. I think when this happened, it happened on the day of release. Now, granted, I did go to Red Eye on the day of the release, watch him live, and get it signed. But I think this happened in the morning. So I thank you, Last FM, for showing. Yep, that would be release date of the album and the time and when it was 9th of February 2018. Let's search up Blend In's release date because I've already forgotten. February 9th, 2018. Yeah, I'm not just fucking crazy. when they released it on Spotify, it was titled The Stride instead of My Stride.
Well, you listen to songs at 9 in the morning.
Well, I listen to music 24/7, baby.
No.
Anyway, I reckon my favorite songs of this I'm probably gonna give it to Itch. Well, not probably, definitely. Itch has a chance of being one of my songs of the year at this point. Least favorite? I'm probably still gonna have to say Reno. Either one of you.
My favorite has to. I'm just gonna put down a chunk of my favorites being Reno and Looking Forward to the Change. Like just those two songs together is.
Reno doesn't work without Looking Forward to the Change, I say.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But when it's with Looking Forward to the
Yeah, Looking Forward to the Change is probably their best closer. Although I do like Eggshells a lot.
I think it's better than
Just as a closer, but yeah.
least favorite? Nestle Down.
Alright. Which leaves my favorite being probably In This State, Nestle Down, maybe Good Eye or Germaphobe is also there. Least favorites are probably Milk in the Sun, and like Keg, or Heavy Assault maybe. So what I find more least memorable.
And with that, which one should we go into next?
Probably the one I have the least to say about.
Honestly, I kind of don't have much to say about either of the next two. Honestly, like my opinion is basically different, but I don't have much.
Yeah, we'll end with the one that we had the most to talk about then. So BTS, I got bored of this.
I listened.
I really did. I don't think this is even close to worst album that we've heard. Don't get me wrong with that. I don't even think it's bad, but like, I'm not going to go back to this. I've got no reason to. I didn't go back to the first one, and this is just the first one again, but in Japanese. I could be completely wrong about that, and I'm not even going to say. The only reason why I can't really remember if it's different or not is because I can't remember the life of me of the song titles. It came and went. And it being in Japanese just didn't change that.
For a pop album, it's surprisingly lacking.
Alright, I'll go into a little bit about why I decided to choose this, and that I thought it'd be fun because... What?
You're a cop? That's why you chosen it?
Not a cop.
There's the amount of time. So we have this like Last FM bot on that Oz Music Discord that I'm on, and someone did Who Knows BTS to see who's listened to it, but they didn't listen to it. Only I had listened to it, and they said we found the cop boys. Fuck.
Gotcha. Got him.
And that is all because of you, Dominic.
But I thought since we did too many shows on BTS, it was time to graduate them to the big time, giving them like a full episode listen and like treat them like we treat the other bands. And the thing I did not count on was number one. Well, I should have seen this, but like just being in Japanese does not make it a new experience, really.
No.
Like, I don't understand Korean, I don't understand Japanese. I know there are differences, and I could definitely hear the differences on a number of the songs. Not all of them, but a number of them. But like,
I mean, realistically, this feels like they've just only done it to get more sales in other countries. Which, look, there's not actually anything wrong with that. there's an artist by the name of Asgeir who put out his album in his native Icelandic and then decided he wanted to actually sell it internationally, so redid the album again, all in English.
Right, but
And the song Kings and Cross off that ended up being a hit down here.
the thing I do want to talk about, though, is that it is actually a very different album than the other two we've listened to. That is, like, the surprising part. Like, the thing I thought was interesting about when going into this was because we started with Map of the Soul Persona, right? It was, like, this EP that they did. And ever since then, it's been this, like, weird look at, like, how are they going to cut it down again? Because Map of the Soul Persona has been in all three of these now. Like, how much are they going to cut it down again? And then how much are they going to cut it down again? So it's like
inadvertently created a battle royale.
Right. And so for me, the highlight of the album was still hearing the songs I was already familiar with, like Boy With Love, Make It Right, and Dionysus. Because, like, I think those were probably the highlights of Map of the Soul Persona, and they still are the highlights here. Like, I thought they were pretty decent. And then, like, you got songs from other albums now, like stuff we haven't covered, like Love Yourself, The Answer, which was their 2018 album, I think. They only have 2 songs from Map of the Soul 7, like, exclusive, which is weird, I think, being the kind of counterpart of Map of the Soul 7. There's only, like, 2 songs from there besides the Persona songs, Black Swan and On, that are, that make the cut. And,
I think it's also amazing just how much you've talked about, all this releases and stuff like that BTS are doing, and I have absolutely no interest in ever going to any of them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because K-pop is not for me. Maybe it's because K-pop is not for Tricks. Maybe BTS isn't as good as K-pop as people believe them to be. Maybe I don't understand anything, but in the end,
It doesn't even matter.
I've listened to these BTS albums, so where I know this is the first time I've actually properly going to be covering it because I managed to successfully be sick the last couple of times, but I actually did listen to them, and they do not grab me. I don't care for the rapping that happens in there. I think it's just it feels more of that kind of like fake hype shit, which never really grabbed me. It's supposed to be like, oh look how cool this is, but I don't understand what the fuck he's saying. Maybe it's politically charged. Maybe he's aggressively telling a woman to love him. And maybe he's.
You could look up the lyrics. I mean, you can look up the lyrics.
But I have
That
no
requires
interest in.
effort.
I have no interest in it because the songs, rhythms don't grab me enough. I don't think it's untalented music. I think this is like there's obviously talent in the people doing this. Everything's well produced.
Yeah.
There's nothing I actually hate about it, but like I just don't care.
The thing I did not expect listening this week is how tired I would be of it. Because we did Map of the Soul 7, like...
Oh, I expected that fully.
We did Map of the Soul 7 literally 6 months ago. Like... And Persona before that was like a few months before that. Like 3 or 4.
In all fairness, you do pick the most mainstream pop acts out of all of us.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a lot of the time I'm just experimenting. I'm having fun.
I'm not saying that you can't or anything like that. I'm just...
Right.
I'm just saying, you pick, like... Yeah, you can go first, Trix.
I do have one real good positive about this album. I think it has the best of the week.
The best of what?
The best album art.
Oh, the art is cool. I kind of like the album art.
Let me take another look at it.
I mean, Brain Candy isn't bad.
Brain Candy isn't bad, and neither is Slift, but I just really like the aesthetic they're going
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I wouldn't rate it above the other two, personally.
I think they're all 3 pretty strong.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, with Dominic picking the most kind of mainstream pop acts out of all of us, it's me and Trix kind of get a bit more burnt out from that style than I think you do. So
Probably.
We weren't too surprised that we are going to get tired from this.
I mean, maybe it's because I pick them because I don't listen to that stuff a whole lot. Like I do here and there, but it's kind of like I want the new experiences. I want to keep trying different things. So that's why I picked the Huey Lewis's and the Willie Nelsons and all that stuff.
I'm not criticizing.
No, I know.
Stuff.
I guess I'm just explaining myself because it's like to me it's a surprise that like this far in we've listened to BTS on this podcast for about a year now, right? Collectively.
Yeah.
And we've gone through the petite leagues, we've gone through the neutral milk hotels, we've gone through the Middle East, right? And I'm not really tired of those. Like we've listened to more petite league than like in this span than BTS, right?
Well,
Like,
it helps that BTS are re-releasing a lot of their songs in each one of them.
yeah, it's true. But those songs are the ones I still like the
like-
most.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really have a problem with this one compared to like a Love because this one is just re-releasing it in a different language, and yeah, it's not the most impressive thing that's ever been done, but I mean, it still is kind of hard to sing all this stuff in a language that isn't native to your own. So I give them points for that.
Yeah, they're singing in 3 different languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also is good to highlight like having that language shift now. Like, oh, this part is still the same. Oh, it's English, you know, because some of the English is kind of hard to parse sometimes because it's so heavily accented, and that's fine. That's just they're doing the international appeal. They do it how they want. That's totally fine. But it's interesting exercise to realize. Okay, like I know there's English in this song. I didn't realize how much English there was, even though I've listened to this song how many times now. Like, it's interesting to have that perspective of like, oh, they are really singing in 3 different languages in a sense. But yeah,
a lot of people won't be interested in this album, especially those who aren't into BTS at all. But I will give that as a massive props. People do not realize exactly how hard it is just to sing in a different language. I feel like a lot of people also don't really like talking in other languages as well, because some people find it to be cultural appropriation, which I don't know if I fully agree on, but I don't know if I really actually have the place to say whether it is or not. Like I remember I went to Crywank concert last year, and they had a song called Hikikomori, where the singer who wrote it and stuff later regretted it because as a quote, using other nationalities' words and stuff like that was cultural appropriation, which I don't know if I agree with.
I don't know if I agree with that either because I think
No, I don't think so.
a lot of it depends on the intent of the song, the intent of the
Yeah.
artist, and you kind of have to assume a lot of that. Like I don't know Crywank,
Yeah,
so I don't know what their history is or anything.
well, they're just an English band. I personally don't mind it. I think it's actually a sign of respect to other languages and other things to start using that, especially if you use it correctly. But there are definitely some artists now and some people who do see it like that, even if it's just a minority, I guess.
But I mean,
Cultural.
So I guess a lot of artists there might be a lot of artists who wouldn't attempt something like this anymore.
I do think it depends on is it are the lyrics like stereotypical at all? Is it like
Yeah.
treating the culture with respect? Is it like a genuine attempt, or is it just like a weird thing they're trying to do? Because so much of like Western culture is like, wow, look at how wacky Japan is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like say if you have
Fucking turn Japanese
yeah, that's the exact song I was gonna fucking say.
by the Vapors.
Right.
That one is a one that probably wouldn't probably work today. And you could probably say that something like that might be a bit cultural appropriation there, especially especially the piano tune on there, which is that it's kind of based off the old chopstick stuff, isn't it?
No, it's
You know-
it's
you
just pentatonic. It's just pentatonic fourths. But
But
yeah,
like that chopsticks tune with the
it's,
piano, right? Like the da 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 da. Just want to make sure that everybody knows this, and I'm not just unintentionally being racist here.
I think it's
Yeah.
that, but you have to do it in the opposite descending order.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
That tone is very like Asian coded, Japanese coded, Chinese coded stuff.
Yeah.
Like that is like the thing if you're doing a really racist thing that you put in.
Yeah.
No, but like I do think there's a thing about like I feel like there's like a thing where like U2 Bono's gonna sing a song in French now because he's Bono, right? You kind of roll your eyes at that, right? It's like, oh fuck, Bono, come on.
You roll your eyes at Bono no matter what. I remember hearing after the it was the shooting that happened at a Eagles of Death Metal concert, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I remember just hearing the news about the charity concert after that was going to be hosted by Bono, and then me and my dad just yelled out the biggest fucking come on.
One of my favorite jokes about Bono is the like at the U2 concert, he just starts clapping. He's like, every time I clap, a child in Africa dies.
Yes.
And then just somebody in the audience shouts, "Well, stop fucking clapping, you."
Yeah, I've heard that one. It's fucking great.
It's a great one.
Bono
kills African children's confirmed.
I'm gonna have to cut this episode.
Nah, Bono's. We can dunk on Bono.
Yeah, pure that. You ever seen that South Park episode on Bono?
No. Ever since
piece of shit.
Ever since Songs of Innocence, I'm fine dunking on Bono.
Yeah.
I have a Joshua Tree cassette tape in my hand right now.
I thought
you're allowed to like YouTube music. You're allowed to like Bono music, but you still have to dunk on Bono.
Yeah, everybody can dunk on Bono.
Yeah.
I mean, Songs of Innocence was such a popular album, they gave it to everyone for free.
I know. Oh, so kind. Thank you, Apple.
Thank you, Bono.
We also got to mention the U2 iPod.
I've never seen that.
It was the first black iPod.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of jokes I can make that would cut the episode. Let's go back onto the BTS stuff. So like, yeah, there was definitely a lot of artists and stuff that wouldn't make an album like this or re-release an album like this, especially not being in your native language. And I mean, Japan isn't always the biggest selling point for records. I mean, yeah, they still have a pretty large music collector fan base there. I mean, the amount of record shops that you know of, especially Japan CDs and stuff like that, which usually come with bonus stuff.
Yeah.
Due to obviously the taxes and stuff like that. It's granted BTS probably already have a Japan fan base because I think they're pretty popular worldwide. So.
Right. And this is their 4th Japanese album, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
In fact,
it's their 4th album.
I'll check up the Japan charts on Japan top 50 on Spotify at the moment. BTS's Dynamite is number 5.
And that's the song that they just put out that's in English, which is funny.
And Stay Gold is at 47.
That's the one that's in Japanese and then some English in it.
Yeah. So yeah, you go and look into a lot of the more Asian countries charts. They're actually usually pretty full of a lot of these types of acts. I think pop is actually pretty popular in those countries.
It's kind of universal.
Yeah. But the more K-pop, J-pop sound, there's a difference between J-pop and K-pop apparently, and I think it's due to the bass or something, isn't it?
I mean, it's also the country that they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I meant in the actual sound.
Oh, there's differences.
Isn't it like J-pop or something doesn't use much bass?
I don't know that. I just know that there are definitely. I've heard J-pop and K-pop, and there are differences. I can't tell you what they are, but I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about real quick the things that Wikipedia was saying about this album that I thought were interesting. I don't know if I believe them. I didn't bother to fact check them, but they were talking about the song. What is it called? I should have brought Spotify up, but Your Eyes Tell, which is they're talking about how Jungkook wrote it all himself, and then they were submitting it to this Japanese film director, and they submitted all these songs, but Your Eyes Tell was so different that they picked that one, right? And then you look at the credits, and it's like 4 people writing that song. Number 1, number 2, Wikipedia then talks about how Your Eyes Tell is the first song that a foreign artist has written for a Japanese film, for a theme, which I thought was like, that is that really true? Is it really the first?
I feel like Mr. Big might have done something.
I mean, I feel like there had to have been a situation where like another artist who was from America or somewhere else wrote a theme for a Japanese movie, like specifically.
Yeah, I feel like I think like Mr. Big had a chance of doing that. That's Paul Gilbert's band,
Uh,
and neither of you know who Paul Gilbert is. I'm sure.
no, I don't.
He's a He's a shredder dude.
I'm actually going to check out the South Korean charts on Spotify as well, if it allows me to. You know what? We'll search up the North Korean as well.
I want to know the North
I don't even know if Spotify
Wait,
has
you want
it.
what?
North Korean top 50 on Spotify.
No, what did Trick say? You want to know? You want another what?
I want to know the North Korean charts. I said.
It sounded like you said you wanted another North Korea, so I wanted to make sure you had the opportunity for you to correct yourself.
Yeah, I did not. I do not want to move to North Korea.
You don't want another North Korea either.
No, I do not, and that's why I am voting.
Good. Want to clear that up.
Day off.
Nice. Nice. Alright, here we go. Can we find a Korea? No, it doesn't have a Korea top 50. South Korea, maybe? No. No, it does not.
Weird.
That's odd. But I can see what's popular in Vietnam. BTS, number 1. With Dynamite.
It's weird to have another song to talk about because they're supposedly putting on another album before the end of the year. Like, what the fuck?
So we're actually gonna go. I'm just gonna show all the top 50 in Vietnam, and I'm just gonna do some highlights here. So number 48 is BTS, Your Eyes Tell. I think 45 being Palfu's Deathbed with Baby Doobie is just kind of interesting, but anyway, let's go back on. 42 is BTS's Black Swan. 35 we have Lady Gaga and Blackpink with Sour Candy.
Oh yeah, that's on.
BTS at 34 with Stay Gold. Here we go. Are you ready for this?
Mhm.
This beautiful, beautiful moment. Number 29, Dynamite BTS Poolside Remix. Number 28, BTS On. Number 27, BTS Boy with Love featuring Halsey. Number 24, Dynamite EDM Remix by BTS. Number 20, Dynamite Tropical Remix by BTS. You think we're done? No. Number 12, Dynamite Instrumental. Number 11, Dynamite Acoustic Remix. And then number 1 is BTS Dynamite.
Jesus.
My god, they really like that song in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
I will say I bought Dynamite because I had 69 cents to spend on iTunes, and it was 69 cents.
Well, you've just helped the Vietnam charts.
That was my intention, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a single song that many times on the same top 50.
I mean, that's
ever.
This might sound weird, but how many people actually own Spotify in Vietnam?
I don't know.
Apparently a couple thousand. It's getting 80,000 daily plays. That's enough.
I mean,
enough.
I'm sure like streaming services, if they're accessible in those countries, are probably a huge thing because it's, you know.
I would think they'd have their own regional.
I mean, they probably do, but I don't think the music industries are kind of like they are in like Japan or the US or like UK or something. I might be wrong, but I get the impression that they're not. Like they're definitely probably popular, but they're different.
Every country definitely has a different way of how songs get successful, what gets played. Yeah.
Where you buy music. Like you have Red Eye, like and your Red Eye has all those imports, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean I'm still one of the only people who actually goes and buys CDs regularly, but yeah, Red Eye is Bay. But I mean, Australia is pretty well known for having a pretty active music scene.
Trex, you had something to say about your favorite for this album? I'm curious.
Yeah, it's the outro.
Really?
And yeah, and like Like, I'm not trying to slight anything, but like musically, I really liked what they were doing with it. I liked the vibe. I liked the melody.
And then it ended.
Yeah, that was just a bonus.
The shortest song of all.
I don't have a favorite or least favorite. It's kind of just a blender.
My favorites are the three I've been listening to since last year: Boy with Love, Make It Right, and Dionysus. I think Dionysus is probably the song where you can actually start really parsing how different Japanese sounds in Korean. Like, obviously it does, but like songs like Boy with Love, there's so much English, it's hard to really tell. But like Dionysus is a song that is more heavily non-English, so it's easier to be like, oh yeah, that sounds way different, obviously. And then I think my least favorites are stuff like Idol, Make Love. They're just fine. I don't know. What's with like popular bands and like trying to do like a samba or something? Like Lauv had that like song on his album. They have Airplane Part 2 here, which is kind of like a Mexican-inspired, Latin-inspired kind of samba thing. I don't get it. Like it's great music, but it just seems like we talk about appropriating cultures and like pulling all random genres. That seems to be kind of a common thing.
Anyway, shall we get into the last album of this week?
Yes, the one that appropriates English culture.
Oof. I want to start off just before anybody says anything. That opener to this album, I have just put on again, is fucking fantastic.
Ding 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 ding. Bam, 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 bang, ding ding.
So this album was interesting for me to listen to. Definitely.
I think out of all the kind of I've put this into a mixture of stoner rock and garage punk.
Yeah,
It's one of the best albums that Trix has chosen from either of those.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go that far. I do like it.
I would. I'm listening to the title track right now, and fucking hell, I just love it.
Yeah, just how
I haven't heard it.
in.
Haven't even heard it that much, but I just every time it's just so fucking good.
See, I think that's one of the weaker tracks. I think this is an album that gets better as it goes on.
It is. But at the same time, it's an album that it's an hour and 12 minutes, but I don't think there's that much fat on it.
I think there's some. I definitely got kind of annoyed after a while with some of the similar tones. Listening to it again and again.
I think the outro dragged on a bit.
I think Lions and Tigers and Bears was the best song on the album. I think it actually used that length for like dynamic reasons. It was actually really interesting.
I think
it's longer live.
Yeah. I think the first like 10 minutes of it and something like I would agree with, but then like the 3 minutes when it was finishing up is just kind of like yeah.
There, I mean, it does kind of have like a long fade out outro kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Halo theme randomly in there.
Still have not heard that part of it. Like you mentioned it, I still have not caught it.
It's just the.
I'll have to listen again.
But I 100% plan to pick this up on Bandcamp Friday. It's definitely one of the best 2020 albums that have been shown. I still don't know how I'm going to rank this when it comes to the end of the year. Part of me thinks, again, this is going to be very similar with Hockey Dad, though. So if you're going to ask questions like Weekend Running Club and stuff like that, I'd probably give the same answer.
Yeah. There's a lot of difference. Like, there's a lot of... They covered a lot of ground with this album.
They did.
Like, you have, like, the faster-paced songs, and then you have, like, the slow, meandering ones that, beautiful sounding, like Aurora or Confused.
Yes.
Well, like, Umon, the kind of, or, I don't know how to... I assume Umon is the way how to pronounce it.
Oh, man.
But that does start off kind of slow before it then kind of just goes heavy and fast, just kind of out of nowhere. But it doesn't feel jarring when it does. It feels like it's perfectly built up to that, and that's one of the reasons why I really love this song.
Yeah, they're a band that definitely plans out their music.
Yeah, it feels somewhat like, because it has all these guitar solos and stuff like that. That could feel like they're just improvised on the spot. But like, yeah, you're right. This is really planned out.
Yeah.
I also appreciate its coming for being just like a cutoff of Nonagon Infinity.
It's coming.
Like, I just, in my head, I was like, Nonagon Infinity opens the door. Nonagon Infinity opens the door.
Opens the door.
I'm just in my mind.
Open the door. Now I got infinity. Opens the door.
I'd have to listen to this after that episode. After
Yeah, I
this
fucking
episode.
love None. Now I got infinity is such a good album.
But I don't know, like,
But
I do see some of the more comparisons, obviously, now to King Gizzard. And we'll definitely be getting there soon.
yeah, because didn't I literally describe them as French King Gizzard the
Yes, you
first
did.
time? Yeah, I stand by that with the Planetary Explorer or whatever. I think this is like halfway now between King Gizzard and OCs, and I mean that in a good way. I think it shares a lot of similarities with probably the kings of this sound, but also stands out a lot on its own, which I very much love. Like, there were certain moments on here which are just undeniably them. I weren't really thinking of anyone else. I was just thinking of this. But then again, yeah, there were other moments where I noticed, like, yeah, here's a King Gizzard sound, or here's an OC sound. Which, I mean, there's probably no doubt that they have some inspiration from bands like that.
Yeah, they
Seeming as
mentioned
their
OCs
contemporaries.
by name in an article.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking OCs was probably more the inspiration for this.
Yeah.
But
Unlike OCs and King Gizzard, though, I got more. I don't know. The more I listened, I got more a little annoyed. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Like, especially songs like Sonar. I thought Sonar was kind of like sonically unpleasant to listen to at times.
let me put that one back on.
It just kind of reminded me of like someone in a video game spamming the Sonar button a little bit.
It definitely has a little bit more avant-garde instrumentation to it, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's
But
usually the kind of shit that I like.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I think it works. I mean, the album works well with itself.
This has to be something I think I'll have to come back to more. I think every time I've listened to this album, I've been like tired or something. I don't know. Like the first time I listened to this album,
a hard album to kind of listen to in one go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's long. It's very long.
It's an hour and 12 minutes.
I mean, I think Sufjan Stevens was longer, but yeah.
I mean,
Looking it up right now.
Yeah, I mean, still, it's long. Sufjan Stevens was longer by 2 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was still long as well, and that was still hard to do in one sitting.
Like,
I mean, for an album that is as long as this is, and to not have that much fat to be trimmed off it is incredible. There are a lot of albums that are 30 minutes long that should be 10.
Yeah.
Fucking Lauv.
Yeah, I trimmed Lauv's album down. I think my playlist of his album is better. I made a playlist of his playlist, you know.
I do think this has one of the big problems that a lot of stoner rock, garage punk stuff has, where a lot of it can drag unintentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that more here than other places.
But it's, I guess to put it simply, this is Slift's best. I didn't come into this one with that much expectations. La Planet Explorer Ray was kind of a bit forgettable, I guess, but I didn't hate it, but I didn't have too much high hopes going into this, especially with the love for Hockey Dad. But it blew all of my expectations out of the water.
I think if there's any ranking I'm ever going to regret on this show, this week's ranking will be the most likely.
Quite possibly. I'm still in debate about which I consider number one because I think the only issues I had with Hockey Dad really was that there were a couple moments which went a little bit too slow, and just for an album that was genuinely kind of more faster paced. And this one I think has a kind of similar issue with its dragging, but for most of them, if I was to say give a score out of 10, I'll probably be giving them both 9s.
I would not be that high on either of them.
Trix, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd be around like the 8, 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like La Planet Explore a lot more. I think I don't know. I do think there's a lot more going on here, and it's more complex, and maybe like I need more time with it. I don't know. It's like a week. We do this in a week, and sometimes that's a good thing,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's a bad thing. I think this is an opportunity or a situation where it's a bad thing. Maybe. But
I mean, quite possibly. I mean, if we're gonna talk about albums and stuff that are gonna be kind of blender, confusing, and talking about which one of them is better, next week is gonna be.
next week will be a fun experiment, especially now that we
Yeah.
listen to Slift again.
Yeah. And it's actually kind of topical next week too.
I think I don't have too much to say about Umon anymore, other than I like the sound that they bring. This kind of heavy guitars, and I mean, it's very guitar focused. I know that's the one I mainly go on, but it is very, very guitar focused.
Yeah, it's guitar focused, but at the same time, it's not like shreddery.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough solos in it.
One thing was
There's solos, but there's not like two-handed tapping.
Oh, it's not like a Dragon Force album where you only go to just like, look how complex this solo is, and then you listen to the lyrics and you realize they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but then they play Smash Brothers and you think they're all good.
the thing I'm kind of was surprised about, maybe a little bit disappointed, is how consistently low a lot of the vocals are mixed. Like at some points they were mixed higher, and I understand like the idea of like using vocals as like a tool versus actually focusing on them, but
yeah, the vocals do not matter in this album.
Yeah.
Like even if you hear them live, the vocals are low.
I mean, one of the biggest lies anybody has ever told you is that the lyrics are important.
Yeah, like they're telling like a story. They're just retelling Homer's Odyssey, but in space.
yeah, it also reminded me of the Cygnus saga.
Yeah, they go for a Rush vibe, but they're not Rush in that regard.
Right. Like a Rushy, King Gizzardy, OCZ, French connection, conglomerate. That's what Slift is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything else more to say about this? I know this is probably going to be the one we have the least to talk about, but like, I like it.
You really
yeah, it's kind of hard to go into it without kind of repeating a lot of the same things. Which is
Like,
kind of weird for an hour and 12 minutes, but I mean, this one's a lot slower pace, so its time kind of makes sense.
The review at the beginning sums up the album perfectly.
Yeah. Can't wait to get a divorce while listening to Slift.
Can't get divorced if you don't get married. Taps Temple.
I'm gonna get married right now just to get divorced next to Slift. Like listening to Slift. That's...
That is an expensive thing to do.
Yeah. Only if you have a wedding.
True.
Fair enough.
So I'd say my favorite's probably Lions, Tigers, and Bears. I thought that was a song that actually was worth the length and had a lot going on. I think it was definitely my favorite of the album. My least favorite, Sonar, just because I thought it was a bit much to listen to. It did not strike me as pleasing as some of the other songs did.
My favorite is the opener on the title track. It's just fantastic. I think, like, out of songs that I would consider 10 out of 10 for this week, yeah. I think my least favorite though it's probably Lions, Tigers, and Bears. I think that's where a big complaint of Moments Dragging On really kind of shines.
My favorite is Lions, Tigers, and Bears, and Aurora Confine. Two vastly different songs. It's the longest and the shortest song. But I just really like what they do with Aurora, and Lions, Tigers, and Bears is so much fun to listen to.
Well, the thing I liked about
And
Lions, Tigers, Bears especially was that it was more punky.
yeah, it's more of a return to like their original sound on which I haven't done yet. And I don't know if I'm going to do on their debut EP. Yeah, I'll post one of the songs after we finish recording. And
So when did the single for the title track get released? By the way, do you know?
I do not.
All right, I'm gonna search that up because I need to know whether or not I can consider it in my 2020 shortlist or not. Because it says 2019, but if it was released in December, it's all good.
Let me find out.
When was the album released? Still, it might not.
February.
Be 2020.
February 28th, I believe.
God.
Yeah, February 28th was the release date of the album.
Yeah, I can see that now. What the hell? There's people talking about the vinyl hunters. Oh, go on their Facebook and check out the vinyl.
Yeah, the vinyl's crazy.
Yeah, with the gatefold and everything. That looks so good.
Oh yeah.
That's. So have you seen it, Dominic?
No, I'm going over there.
Yeah. Take a look. It's that's a very nice design, and I love it.
Just the artwork of the album. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
The rough trade, then.
Yep.
That's nice.
I don't know if there was a single for this album. Oh wait, no. It was released on their YouTube on November 29th, 2019.
Oh.
Very close.
I can't consider it.
I don't think it was released to streaming service.
Oh, let's see.
But the song was out there, so it would have counted at the time.
Yeah. If it's yeah, it's about whether or not it was officially released, and there's a good chance that it was.
If it's on YouTube, it's probably been released.
Yeah. So
Well, it was uploaded to their YouTube.
that's unfortunate. There are some times where I do excuses where I've listened to the song so much in a year, and then I find out it was released on like November 29th, but like, yeah, nah.
I do think it was a shame that they couldn't do their album release party because then COVID happened in March.
I know. It got cancelled like on the day.
I also appreciate that the journalist who was assigned to cover it still wrote a thing, at first acting like they'd went, and then they were like, actually no. The title was like going to the thing or whatever, going to the release party, and then you read it and it's like, oh, actually it got canceled.
Yeah, that's a shame. That would have been a cool release. But were they meant to play songs for it, or just having a party?
Looking at the, it's on Magnet
Anyway,
Magazine.
On,
Magnet Magazine. I think it was supposed to be like a concert, yeah.
Man, that sucks. Oh well. Anyway, shall we get into what we're doing next week?
Take it away. It's you. It's all you.
It's all me. Next week, I've forced everybody to do some King Gizzard. I'll let you two say which albums are forced for you first.
the Flying Microtonal Banana.
I'm doing Chunky Shrapnel.
And I always had a huge list of King Gizzard ones to choose, but because none of you chose it, and we have to do it at some point, I've chosen Polygon Wonderland.
Here's my question. Do you want to include the Chunky Shrapnel movie?
It's impossible to find, isn't it?
I don't know. It's in Australia, I'm assuming. I don't think I can access it.
It's not a physical thing, it's only a digital thing.
Right.
If you can find it, you can.
Maybe
Until
that's something Look, I don't know.
I have been Riddlein. You can catch me at my social, which is not actually a social, but it's my website. It's called Riddlein for Kids at github.io. But you could probably privately message me on GitHub if that's a thing. If it's not, then sorry, no social. I also have a YouTube channel which you can always privately message me on there. God knows I got a lot of spammers back in the day as a kid. I'll still never forget those. Would you like to have sex? Come to this site ads when I was just a 12-year-old trying to find shitty gaming videos. YouTube is a great time.
They got rid of the private messaging system on YouTube.
Ah, you're telling me that this hot single in my area didn't actually like my shitty YouTube poops? I'm devastated, Trix. I'm devastated.
Reminds me of the one time I was on a forum as like a 12, 13-year-old and we got like hacked, sent like the worst kind of porn. Like not illegal, but like just weird shit.
And
Yeah,
anyway,
my
that's how Dominic.
Okay.
That's how Dominic found out he was gay.
That reminds me, when my mom first introduced me to Reddit when I was like 12 or 13,
Oh,
I accidentally clicked on the link to our space sticks.
to which one?
Space sticks.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, that's because I have been on Reddit longer than you. It's no longer around, but it was like the worst shit ever.
Oh,
Like I saw nails through somebody's testicles.
I was gonna describe things off air. So if you're gonna describe things on air,
I just went for one of the more tame ones.
there.
yeah, no. Yeah, I mean there were a lot of classic moments of the internet which people do not like to talk about.
Goatsy.
What was that classic Encyclopedia Dramatica page?
Fuck, I forget now. It's been so long.
I never really browsed Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Hearing about Encyclopedia Dramatica in like 2007 was a fucking trip. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. My favorite was Unencyclopedia.
The internet in 2007, when I started going on the internet, was such a different place. Holy shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Remember when people used to do just literally anything on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when like Rickroll actually became a thing, and like people still talked about, oh yeah, Duckroll.
Yeah. You know that somebody actually like successfully rickrolled Rick Astley?
Good.
Oh yeah, that was on the Reddit Ask Me Anything. That was fantastic.
Yeah, where it's like, I have a photo of you when I was a kid. And he just links fucking never gonna give you up. Oh god.
Oh. Man, Rickrolls were the day. Like you would go into something. Yeah, like you'd go into a YouTube channel and then it would link you down this rabbit hole of videos, and then it would just be like next one, and it's just a Rickroll.
And then sometimes they throw in like a chocolate rain just to switch it up in case you knew the Rickroll URL.
Oh, I have that shit memorized. I've memorized that before I memorized my social security.
Yeah. All you need to remember is the last three XQC. It's XCQ.
Something.
XQC is a streamer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did anyone here know Boxy?
Oh, I'd never watched them.
Never watched her, but she has a YouTube channel now. I think she does not reference at all, really.
It's for the best, but I remember hearing about Boxy as a young child.
So remember the do you remember or not remember like ever seen the Buff Corel covers?
No.
Of that muscular black man who keeps dancing whilst singing along to karaoke?
I think so.
He did. Yeah. As much as I don't use like using in color as a description, there's a lot of muscular men down there on YouTube these days, and I found his old YouTube channel, and I think my favorite video title was bodybuilding after the election, and I found the date. I saw the date 2008.
Oh God.
Obama won, so he just did some bodybuilding to celebrate, and that's just fantastic.
Great.
That's my favorite moment of YouTube history now.
It's like remembering the heyday of Tumblr and like, oh yeah, Jam Jars was a person that people cared about a lot about.
Who the fuck is?
What?
Who the fuck is that? I don't know.
Jam Jars was like one of the eminent Tumblr people.
Remember when Smosh was good?
For like 1 year, yeah.
Yep. Anyway, you wanna link your stuff?
Oh yeah, I'm Dominic.
yeah.
You can catch me at tiltingwindmillstudios.com where I write stuff. I'm also on Twitter at DACICHOCKI. Yeah, just hit me up, I guess.
We're all easily reachable. I've been Tricks. You can catch me on Twitter at _. It's like procrastinating astronaut. Then an underscore. I also have a YouTube channel where I have bass content and waiting on switches still so I can mod that bass. You can catch us all on Waves and at this on Twitter.
You're cutting out there.
DissonantWaves.space at Dissonant Waves Twitter, just because Tricks cut out so badly there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Anyway, watch Buff Corel, because Buff Corel is just bae. And we'll catch you next time.
Okay. I gotta close out the thing now. Give me a second. Bye, everybody. Blah, 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 blah. Hello, everybody. This is Dominic back. Just adding some stuff since we never actually talked about our rankings this week. Real quickly, Trix's ranking for this particular week was BTS at number 3, Hockey Dad number 2, Slift number 1, and then Riddle and I both had the same rankings of BTS in 3rd, Slift in 2nd, and Hockey Dad 1st. Just wanted to put that in since we totally forgot. Apologies. Goodbye.